recommends we approve the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all approve. Raise hand. 100%, ma'am.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is superintendent's report, and the first thing is just an update on the school governance team report, and I'd like to remind everyone that this information is public information, can be found on Assembly by going to our school district website, and the minutes are also kept at each location. So if you'll, I'm just going to let Ms. Collis scroll through those just a little bit. With it's all the things that the school governance teams are responsible for: fundraiser request, facility use request, and field trip request. And then they include notable business on the side, documenting where they have reviewed federal budgets, vision and missions, improvement plans, and those kind of things. And again, that can be found. And then, of course, you know, the board receives this information to review prior to this. So, thank you, ma'am. Next item on the agenda is to update the latest SPLOST collection. And our latest SPLOST collection actually went down from the collection of July, which was surprising, but it was $915,482.49. So we are very blessed to have our eSPLOST. Ms. Collis? Next item on the agenda is the 4-H update, and Ms. Kate Phillips is here to update us on all the activities that 4-H has been involved in. And Ms. Phillips, I want to thank you before you speak for all that you do with our students.
All right, so thank you all for letting me come speak to everyone today. I know it's been a little while since I've been here and some of the board has changed, so I want to go over a little bit, but since I haven't really had the chance to meet some of y'all yet, I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Kate Phillips, and my full official title is the Fannin County Extension Coordinator and 4-H agent. I have both a bachelor's and a master's degree from the University of Georgia, both of them from the entomology department. What that means is I like bugs. I've known for a while that I wanted to be a 4-H agent. I started out as a 4-H'er myself over in Columbia County. I got the opportunity to intern at the state 4-H office while I was in college. I taught environmental education, got a little bit of teaching experience there, and I've been in this position since February of 2023, so a little bit over 2.5 years ago. So a little bit for Georgia 4-H, we have something that we call our Core 4, which are 4 programs that every county is required to offer, and those 4 are in-school 4-H lessons, project achievement, state council, and summer camp. We also have the opportunity to offer programs that are important to our communities, and so the programs that we're offering here are going to look different than any other county just because every county is different and the needs of our county are going to be different than the needs from the metro counties especially. We may be similar to Union, Gilmer, Towns, Pickens, because those are similar to us. But some of the things that I'm offering are judging teams, livestock showing. We do fundraisers. We have statewide 4-H conferences, and we're also doing some community service. So what I did at the end of, starting from the beginning, for the in-school portion lesson of the Core 4, I'm currently going into 4th and 5th grade science classrooms in the county, and I usually bring once a month a hands-on science lesson that is reinforcing standards that the teachers have already taught. So what I have up here is a survey that I actually did at the end of last year with all of the 4th and 5th graders that I saw in the month of May to kind of get an idea of what their favorite lesson was from the year and which one was their least favorite. So I normally go in about 8 months. I go August, September, October, November, take December off because it's a crazy month, and then do January, February, March, and then April and May are the same month. So I kind of got an idea that maybe our microorganisms lesson with 4th grade wasn't as popular. Project achievement, they didn't like it as much, so I've changed it up this year so they're more enjoying it. And I have a written out plan of everything I'm doing with 4th and 5th grade for the year, as well as the standards and the lesson plan. So if anybody wants to see any of the stuff that I'm doing, more than welcome, and I'll be happy to share it with you. I also have one for 5th grade, similar things, our erosion activity, electricity activity, and insect activities. By far the favorites. Project achievement and microorganisms, not so much. So I've been talking a lot about this thing called project achievement. And what it is this is Georgia 4-H's public speaking competition, where students have to create a speech or pick a topic, write a speech, create some visual aids, and present that speech. This actually lines up with ELA standards for the state, especially 5th grade ELA standards. So I go in September and October. September, so last month I was teaching them picking their topic, writing an outline, writing their speech. This month I'll be going in and talking about how to create a good PowerPoint, how to be a good public speaker. And they have an optional portion where they can actually go to a contest that we host by areas. Our area happens to be in Union County. We'll be going in December, and they can actually go give their speech in front of other students from other counties as well. In the past, we haven't had as high of a participation. We've only taken about both years I've taken about 6 4th and 5th graders. I'm hoping to increase that number. And one thing out of the 2024, when we took 6, 5 of those students all came from Blue Ridge 5th grade. And something we did different there, that's why we had such a high number coming from that school, is the science teacher actually took it as a ELA and science grade. Because it is standards based. So she did that and then was encouraging students to go. So 5 of the 6. So we're kind of looking at adding that. I know a lot of the 4th and 5th grade teachers this year are also taking it as an ELA grade. So I'm kind of hoping that will encourage some more students to participate. Our next one is summer camp. That is another program area that we have been gradually increasing. 2023 was my first year here, and we had 10 students attend camp. I had been here about 4 months. I walked into the classroom, said, "Hi, I'm Miss Kate. I teach 4-H. You should go to summer camp with me." So 10 I thought was pretty good. The next year we went down to Atlanta, and I took 25 students. And then this past summer, the largest delegation Fannin County has ever taken is 37. And I have about the same amount of spots for next year. One reason we have been able to increase this number is we have some wonderful people in the community who have donated money in order for us to give out scholarships to allow some of these students who may not have the opportunity, because camp does cost about $400 a student. So we've had some wonderful donors in the area. I was able to give out about 14 scholarships last year. This summer, we're going to Wauseega 4-H Center. It's over in Dahlonega, and this is one of my favorite camps. It's also our closest camp. Same thing, we're gonna have plenty of scholarship opportunities and fundraising opportunities. Moving on to our county programs that I'm offering, we have some state, it's not part of our Core 4, but Georgia 4-H offers multiple judging teams. These are gonna teach reasoning skills, multiple life skills. Last year, I had a grand total of 6 students do judging teams, 3 on our livestock judging team. They were all high schoolers. We got 5th place in the state, not too bad for our first year. And then I also had 3 students do poultry judging, where they're learning about identifying different parts of the chicken, how fresh your egg or chicken is, what quality is it. That's all kinds of skills they learn at poultry judging. This school year, I'm looking at offering both of those again, as well as we currently have a Cotton Bowl and consumer judging team. This one teaches students reasoning skills, especially when it comes to being a smart shopper. And they're also having to prepare a 30-second speech based on cotton. And I have 5 4th through 8th graders participating in that one. And our contest is going to be in November. Along with Fannin County's middle school and high school FFA, we also have students who show livestock. Last year was one of my really big years where I had 7 in the fall and 14 in the spring. It has dropped down. I only had 2 this season. One of them, actually, one of our 5th grade boys, Landon Satterfield, won 5th grade showmanship for the entire state. So he did really well at state last Friday. And then this upcoming season, I think I'm going to have about 3. Some of my students aged up into FFA, and some have decided to not show anymore. Yes. Speaking on the fundraisers that I was talking about, right now we're going to offer multiple throughout the year. Right now we have one. It is called Front Door Produce. It is a 20-pound box of Georgia produce, and they sell them for $30. You have the option to buy one for yourself or donate one to Family Connections. We did this fundraiser last year. We sold 75 boxes with 50 of them going to Family Connections. And this year, students can earn a $5 credit for every box they sell, and that's going to go help pay towards camp or any other activities that they want to go to. We've also been doing some community service projects. One of our statewide projects that we have is the Ronald McDonald House Pop Tabs. So I challenge all the 4th and 5th graders to collect the Pop Tabs, and we take those to one of our state conferences and turn those in. This picture is actually showing off 2 of our certificates. Fannin County last year at this conference had turned in over 600 pounds of Pop Tabs. It's about 3 years worth. And we had the most in our 40 county district. So they do it based on total pounds and by population. And since we won most pounds, we also won highest population since we're a smaller county. We've also done some other community service in our local community with our middle school club. We went over this summer to Family Connections and helped out in the food pantry one afternoon, making food boxes, getting carts loaded up, helping take them out to the cars, and helping with all of that. We had a wonderful time doing that one. So we also have some of our 4-H conferences that we've been attending. So junior conference happens in November, and this is a statewide conference. They bring in middle schoolers from all over the state. They do leadership workshops. Last year we did some healthy living workshops. They get an opportunity to interact with other middle school 4-Hers from all over the state. We also attended something called Junior Rally, which is held at Wauseega 4-H Center for Northeast and Northwest District middle schoolers, and that's at Wauseega. We get to go. They do some team building classes. The last Core 4 program that I didn't talk about was State Council, and this is where our state officers are elected, but this is aimed at high school students, and our program really hasn't gotten into the high school age yet. My most active 4-Hers are currently in 7th grade, so I'm just kind of waiting for them to get up there. But this is our Core 4 that we are not currently hitting, but I am looking forward to in the next couple of years. So if you have any questions, that is all of our contact info. That's our office phone, then my UGA email. I also have a school system email, and then our office email. Those are all ways you can get in contact with me. Do any of y'all have any questions? I know that was a lot for me to talk in 10 minutes.
Thank you for being here. So I should know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it. What grades are you serving right now?
So in class, I am serving 4th and 5th.
Just fourth and fifth?
Just for what I go into the classroom for is just fourth and fifth. However, I have which I didn't even talk about, I have a 6th through 12th grade club called County Council. My first meeting back in August, I had 14 students show up to. About 5 or 6 of them were 6th graders. I had some 7th graders. I even had some homeschool high schoolers show up. So.
And how often are you going, how often are you in the schools?
I see every student once a month. So I take the first 2 weeks to lesson plan and prep. And then so like starting on Tuesday, I'll be in this, West Fan in 4th grade one day, West Fan in 5th grade one day. So I see every student once a month.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And this program is a wonderful way to start bridging that gap from elementary to middle for our ag program to get kids interested in that. And so
Yeah, so I'll definitely help funnel some, but we are similar organizations and we have some overlap, but we're also very separate organizations.
But it helps to build that student
Yes.
interest in that area. So
Well, thank you very much for working with
All
our
right.
students.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
You mentioned that people could provide scholarships for the summer camps for students that
Yes.
couldn't afford it. If someone wanted to donate for those scholarships, how would they go about that?
Contacting our office. My admin is the one, her name's Kayla. She is our front desk and she normally handles all of our money stuff.
Okay, and it's $400 tuition for both summer camps or just the one? I missed the second amount. Did you say 400?
Yeah, pretty much all of ours are about $400 to $425.
Okay.
We haven't gotten our official numbers for this year, but with it being a little closer, I can expect some of my costs to go down from last year.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Next item on the agenda is Dr. Ramsey, and I've asked Dr. Ramsey to come and celebrate our graduation rate and to kind of pull it apart and talk about it a little bit, how we get the graduation rate and what it looks like behind the scenes in Fannin County. Dr. Ramsey?
Thank you, Madam Superintendent and Board.
If you've ever seen his phone, you know that you're going to have to make that larger.
Yeah, that's gotta be bigger.
Ms. Collis.
So I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you about our graduation rate and give you some, like she said, some behind the scenes of what it looks like and how the state arrives at this number. So just gave you some numbers first. The state graduation rate is 87.2. Our 4-year cohort graduation is 90.64. Our 5-year is 92.14, and our overall graduation rate is 91.1. We're above the state average. We're also above the state target of 90. We're not at the Fannin County target, which is 100. All right, so when we get these rates, we look at them and we break it down student by student, and we see, okay, what happened. And so our 4-year cohort was 265 students. How you get a cohort, so this is the people we're talking about, the actual kids, the actual students. How you get a cohort is everybody who enters the 9th grade at Fannin County High School, plus all the students who transfer into Fannin County High School, minus all the students who transfer out. So our 4-year cohort, 265 students. Of those 265 students, 19 did not graduate, or they did not transfer somewhere else or do something like that. So 19 students out of 265 didn't graduate. Of those 19, 3 were enrolled with us for a year or less. So if a student comes in, they enroll, they're there for 3 days, it counts as a dropout for us if they leave and don't go to school somewhere else. Also, we looked at, okay, so we've started Impact. Well, 9 of these students, of these 19 students, dropped out before Impact was an option for them. So they left. The 5-year cohort, so you take the 4-year cohort and all the students who didn't graduate in the 4-year cohort who are still active, and you move them to the 5-year cohort. Our 5-year cohort was 292 students. Of those 292 students, 16 did not graduate. 10 of those students were enrolled with us for a year and 2 months or less. A year and 2 months is kind of an odd number, but that's kind of where we looked at these students. And I'm not talking about enrolled with us. I'm talking about enrolled in Fannin County for a year or 2 months or less. And of those, 13 of the 16 students did not graduate. 13 of those dropped out before impact was an option. So if you look at each one of these students and you go back, why is a student going to be counted in a 5-year cohort? Why? So when you figure these numbers, so how did we get to that 91.1 overall graduation rate? You take the 4-year cohort and you count it twice. The 5-year cohort, count it once. Add those three numbers together, divide it by 3, and that gives you your 91.1. So why would you go from a 4-year cohort to a 5-year cohort? For whatever reason. For whatever reason, you didn't finish in 4 years. Okay, I can give you examples. I don't want to get in the weeds too much with individual students, but students who might have been in an accident or something like that, and things like that might happen. So they would go to the 5-year cohort. They didn't have enough credits. Life
And the 4
happens to
years
these
from
kids.
when they started ninth
Right, 4
grade.
years from when they started 9th grade.
So they're in high school for 5 years.
It takes them 5 years.
Regardless what happened, right?
Sir,
Regardless what happened.
regardless of what happened,
Right.
it's going to take them 5 years to finish to get that diploma. And then that, we gain some more on that, so that rate goes up a little bit more. For us, each student counts about 0.5 percentage points. So for every 2 students that you could save, your graduation rate would go up 1%. So when we looked at it, right, because when I say our goal is 100%, our goal is 100%. We want every kid, however it happens, whether it's with us, whether it's with another school, however it happens, we want every kid to get that high school diploma. So we look at the kids that didn't have the opportunity to enroll in Impact. Since we started Impact 5 semesters ago now, 111 students have gone into Impact. Only 9 of those students have dropped out. We still have some that are active, so not all 111 have graduated. Still have some that are active. So if we can keep going with that, if we can keep going with Impact on these students who need to go to Impact, and when we look at Impact, first right it goes to the kids who have fallen behind for whatever reason. Life happens to kids just like it does to us, right? Things happen, in their families and their lives and different things, and they might fall behind. So Impact gives them that opportunity to work at their own pace, to get caught up, get that diploma. So if we can keep that kind of, if we had that in place, we would be sitting here looking at a 96, 97% graduation rate instead of this 91.1. I'm glad we're in a county that 91.1 is just not good enough, right? And I don't mean that in a negative way. Our teachers do a fantastic job working with kids. Our kids get a lot of support, but our goal is truly 100%. So when we look at this, we want to make sure, are we doing something? Are we missing something? Is there an opportunity we can provide to get to that 100%?
Right.
Right.
What supports could we put in place for
Right.
any of the problems
Exactly.
that are out
Well,
there?
whatever the need is, kids have different needs, and it may be something where traditional high school just does not work. Going to class every day, taking a semester to earn that credit. So they need opportunities. So we want to continually look at what we're doing and continually provide those opportunities so we get to that 100%.
And Dr. Ramsey, I'd like to take an opportunity, if you don't mind, to explain to the board. Sometimes, like he says, we have students that were in the Fannin County school system less than a year and 2 months. We have to withdraw students for no-show too, like if they just don't show back up one day. Now, there's measures that we have to put in place with our social workers and DFACs and things that we follow up on, but there comes a time that our hands are tied for those real transient students as far as what we can do to get them back in school, but we do everything that we can within the letter of the law to get that done.
I mean, we literally have students that may be with us a number of days and withdraw and not go anywhere else.
And this might be a easy question, but what about the homeschool? Does that count as a dropout, or?
If they do a letter of intent to homeschool and we get a request for records from that organization, then it doesn't count as a homeschool, because another district system homeschool organization has claimed their GTID, which is their student number for the state. So then it doesn't count as a dropout for us.
So as long as they truly enroll in a homeschool deal, then it don't count.
Yeah, they would do a letter of intent with us,
Okay.
and then, like a Penn Foster or somebody like that would send a
And,
records request.
and years ago, that the local school systems helped with that process. Now, we don't, the parent is responsible for going to the State Department on their own and making that declaration. So it's completely separate, and then the parent becomes the school of record.
So that's kind of what we're looking at. And again, I'm not in any way knocking our graduation rate. It's a great graduation rate, but we want to be at 100%. So we're going to keep working and looking and seeing, if there's supports we can put in place for these students, if there's opportunities we can put in place for them, then that's what we want to do. But I just wanted to kind of give y'all a behind the scenes look at the graduation rate. And like I said, we go through it student by student, and we even caught a mistake this time. They had classified 2 of our students as dropouts who are seniors this year, who are legitimate seniors this year. So, it pays to go through it student by student to see what's going on.
And then another area that we need to grow in is our students with exceptionalities. And Miss Lauren and Annette, they go through it with Dr. Ramsey's team, like kid by kid by kid. They have conversations with them. They call them, what happened? How can we help you? How, what can we do to scaffold support? So.
How long have we had the Impact Center up and running?
Spring of
Fifth.
23, so 5 semesters now, I guess.
Okay. How does this data, I've seen this data, but I haven't seen previous year's data. I haven't taken the time to look at it.
It's very comparable. It's kind of we're normally in that 91, 92
Okay.
or the COVID year. It was up around 95 because everybody graduated with COVID. But yeah, everybody went home and got A's.
Accelerated
So-
a lot according
Yeah.
to parents' records. Yes, it was great.
Everybody went home and got A's during COVID. So, but yeah, it's very comparable.
Okay.
But we should start seeing the true impact of impact as we move forward. Because like I said, this is these students. A lot of these students didn't have the opportunity. It didn't exist before they dropped out. So I want to see. I really want to see what kind of, are we truly reaching that population that we need to reach with impact. So I'm really going to be watching the data in the years to come when, impact has been an option for them.
There's actually 2 things that we do currently at the high school, and we're trying to add the third, but the one is credit recovery. And that helps those kiddos that may have gotten sick or fallen behind or something. They have an opportunity to work on certain areas at their pace, and Dr. Ramsey can explain that a little bit more. And the second one was about 5 semesters ago that we ended up doing the Impact Center. That was another little alternative route for kids that your traditional day-to-day school didn't necessarily fit. And like I said, we're trying to work on multiple different ways to add other options.
91.1 is probably acceptable in some areas, but I'm glad that we don't accept that. So I appreciate you guys working towards that 100% mark.
We definitely are not satisfied with that, and want to keep reaching kids, because it's not about that 91.1. It's about that 19 that didn't, and that's what we've got to figure out and get to that point of how we get those guys walking across the stage or field.
So, one thing is the young lady that come up, getting involved in stuff like that, sometimes takes somebody all the way through. So encouraging them to get into something involved like that makes a big deal.
Now, the flip side of that is our CTA graduation rate is right at 100.
Oh, yeah.
So when those kids, you're exactly right. When they get involved in something and they've got an interest, I mean, it's not, it's not the schoolwork bringing them to school. I mean, that's what they do.
It's the charming
Right,
teachers.
right, exactly.
And
What's the
that's
principle?
just
It's
the way
what it is.
Right. And, well, do not give him a big head.
It's things like that. It's
Yeah.
and I've told this story 100 times, and I'll probably tell it 100 more. I had a young man who was in my office for the first 2 years of his high school career. He was in my office, not for good reasons, and then we started the welding program, and he got involved in welding, and then he was in my office because he would have been one of the guys that took y'all around on board training day. he started doing that stuff for me, and he ended up winning one of the $10,000 Parade of Home scholarships
Yeah.
for welding, and went on to do. And it's stuff like that. You're exactly right that gets them there and keeps them there.
Good,
Well,
very good.
And that's one thing, you're exactly right, Mr. Patterson, and I want to thank the board too for the support. And it's not just sports, it's, I mean, our elementary teachers take their time to do clubs, you know, our middle school, and then our teachers are amazing. They are great instructors of academics, but they will put making relationships with kid first. All you got to do is walk around the buildings, because they're going to find that hook. Each kid has what I call a hook, and they're going to find it and try to cash in for the best on it. And so I'm very proud of them for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that stuff has made a tremendous difference. I mean, our welding teams are going down and beating college programs in competitions. I mean, we've got a tremendous CTA program that is really is going to help with this. You know, keeping these kids in school and getting them interested in and providing them with a career as they
Yeah.
move forward.
I was gonna say, when kids see it, it's relative to their real life, and that's how they make money. That's where their interest is gonna stay.
Hey, listen, we had two to graduate the welding program. They joined the union and they were making six figures
Yeah,
at
I was gonna
19
say,
years
they're
old.
making more than their teachers
Yeah.
did.
Oh, yeah. Tried to get Terry to let me go through it, and he said, "You're too old. Can't teach an old dog new tricks."
and that's for the rest of their life. I mean, like, that is like giving them an
It's your
opportunity
livelihood,
to,
yeah.
you know, be a productive adult and build a life. And so that's what it's all about.
They might hang in our 60-something year.
That's right, exactly. You know a little bit about that,
I
huh?
know just a little.
Yeah. So,
Still doing it.
any more questions or comments for Dr. Ramsey?
Great job, sir.
Thank
you
you.
for
Thank
preparing
you.
that for us. All right, appreciate you, sir. All right, next item on the agenda is executive session and safety, real estate, student information, and then personnel. And Mr. Vice Chair, if you don't mind, I would like to invite Ms. Doss, Darvin Couch, and Mr. Danner back with us.
Okay. Superintendent recommends a executive session. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Second. For all the reasons that she said. I lost you on the third one. so-
Safety, real estate, student information, and personnel. I have to write them down, sir.
Okay, all right. I ain't got them wrote down. All in favor? Good deal.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? While in the executive session, no decisions were made. Madam Superintendent.
Thank you, sir. The last item on the agenda is to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. All in favor? Boom, we're done.
Whoop, whoop.